Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Practical Talk. I am Heather Holloway, and boy, do we have an amazing show for you today. We have the one, the only, Kimberly Crowe. You guys, if you don't know who Kimberly Crowe is, she's a master of the stage and is the broadcast personality host of Speakers Playhouse. Her passion is to get speakers and entrepreneurs connected with stages full of their ideal audience to rapidly grow their revenue and reach and build a base of loyal, raving fans, because who doesn't want that? Kimberly is a TEDx speaker, an award-winning international inspirational public speaker, a 6-time entrepreneur. Yeah, go sis. A best-selling author and a master of audience engagement. Kimberly is also the mother of 2 and an adventurer who has hiked sections of the Pacific Crest Trail, navigated Class 4 rapids with one of Costa Rica's female Olympic medal-winning whitewater champions, sailed down the coast of Mexico on a 42-foot Yankee Clipper, and traversed 200 miles on horseback through Canada's Jasper National Park. Her motto is, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Wonderful words to live by. I'm right with you. She's a creator of Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel, an active community of entrepreneurs looking to connect, contribute, and grow, and the host of Speakers Playhouse, a 90-minute weekly online game show helping speakers find stages and stages find guests. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Super glad to be here with you and your audience, Heather. What a great show.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that. Yeah. So we have a really great one for you because Kimberly is the queen of stages, man. And as entrepreneurs, right? Or an author or a coach or a consultant, if we need that authority, if we want to sell more books, if we want to get more clients, we need to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that if you're not being seen, you're being overlooked. If you're not being heard, your message isn't getting out there. And if you're not consistently getting it out on stages, then it's not going to have the contribution to this planet that you want it to have before we leave.
Dang, girl, I love that. And listen, speaking as you're working with your clients and people are coming into your ecosphere, and as I'm working with clients and trying to get them comfortable on camera, man, speaking's the number one fear. Like you're going into this, like, it's okay, guys, we got to speak. So how did we get here, Kim? How did you get to doing this? Like being on the stage, the queen of the stages?
Well, I have been on stage since I was very, very young. I was one of the little kids, that would always love the spotlight. And I actually had my very first paid speaking gig when I was 7 years old. I sold tickets to a magic show that my brother and I put on, and we sold the whole neighborhood. It was a huge hit. And I was like, yes, I want all of this all of the time, much to my parents' chagrin, who were like, maybe not hogging the spotlight so much. But it was one of those things where it was very natural to me to be on stage. Now, that said, it's not for everyone, that whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, getting on stages, you have a message to give to the world. And it's an important message to share with the world, and everybody should be able to share their voice, which is why I put on stages. I believe that I have one called Voices of Women, one called Voices of Color. And we have many other opportunities to speak as well. But on those stages, I want you to be able to share your message. But you mentioned it's very fearful for some people to be able to do that. And it's true. It's the number one fear of people, even higher than death, which means we would actually rather be giving the eulogy or we'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy, right?
Isn't that crazy? That is a crazy thought. I've never heard of it put that way, but oh my gosh, you are so right. Yeah. So here's the deal though. Speaking can open up a whole world of opportunity, right? Can you speak to that?
You're totally right. Now think of the ways that you can attract things into your business, right? You can have word of mouth, which is referral business, and that's great, but you can only affect so many people because it's only the people that are nearest you that are willing to open their mouth and share about you to the people nearest them, right? So that's not really an effective way to grow very rapidly. Another way to do it is paid advertising, right? But when you pay for advertising, all you're really paying for is one little picture. Maybe it's a picture of you, maybe it's a picture of your business and some words on it that you're throwing in front of a whole bunch of cold leads, hoping that they fall in love with that picture and those words, right? But when you speak, Heather, they get to know you. They get to know who you are inside and out. They get to know how fast you talk. If you're a fast talker, they get to know how fun you are. They get to know how serious and professional you are. They get to know you and what you bring to the world. And so those cold leads are no longer cold leads. Anybody that comes to you from hearing you speak is going to instantaneously be a warm lead because they know you.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We, as humans, we need to see the face. We need to see the eyes. We need to hear the voice. We need to see the mouth moving. And so lucky for us, I mean, we're living in this Zoom culture, right? So we get to do that. But, speaking beyond just on the stage, if you update this skill and you hone this skill, I mean, your sales increase because you're having better sales conversations. You're working with the right people because you can, guide your conversations better and get down to who you want to work with. I mean, speaking has so much influence over everything.
Not only that, but what you're talking about is a variety of different speaking. And we'll get into the 4 types of stages. But one thing that I want to point out is when you speak from a stage, you are no longer speaking one-to-one. You're not having that one-on-one trade your time for the potential of making money. You are now speaking one to many, which is increasing your influence in such a huge way. Right now, I'm speaking just to you. And if I was an introvert, that might be very comfortable for me. But your podcast goes out to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people potentially over the course of the next few years. And I can, just by speaking to you, affect many, many lives in a positive way. So speaking makes you as a human more efficient.
Oh, I love that so much. I love efficient things and I love ways to scale. And I love, efficiency is like number one. So you mentioned it, the 4 stages that every entrepreneur should be on. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right, great. So I believe that there's 4 types of stages that entrepreneurs need to take advantage of in order to really leverage their speaking and get their business out there. So stage number 1 is very commonly called a speak to sell stage. That is a stage where the intention after you're finished speaking is to make an offer to the next step in the journey of their buying journey with you, right? So it could be buy my stuff. Like I have a program you can buy at the end of my talk, or it could be a book, or it could be something that they actually are purchasing for you. But it can also be just the next step in the conversation with you. So it could be meet me in the back of the room and we can chat. It could be let's hop on a call together and have a one-on-one. It could be grab my downloadable or my freebie or my lead magnet, my list builder, and just get on my email list so you can learn a little bit more about me. And that will bring people along on the journey so they can learn a little bit more about you before deciding whether or not to jump in. But a speak to sell stage is designed for a business owner or somebody selling something to be able to move them down that customer journey.
I love that. Yeah. You know what, just thinking about the live events that I did this year and how I messed up on the end of that with the call to action at the end, I had to get into it. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I love to speak, but man, having that call to action, it doesn't have to be a sale. It could just be that next step.
You're absolutely right. So one of the things that speak to self speakers fail on, myself included, is the rushing of the call to action or the lack of giving one. I used to get on stage and man, I was a performer, right? I was an actress. So I was just there to entertain. And I was like, oh, they loved me. Mic drop, crush it, right? But they were like, well, she was funny. She was interesting. I liked her. But there's nothing else to do, right? So if you don't give them a natural next step, imagine this. So for those of you who are not driving, go on a little journey with me and close your eyes and imagine that you're reading your favorite book. This book is the first time you've ever read anything by this author, and it's amazing. You love the way they're creating the action, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, the characters, the setting, all of it. You love it, love it, love it. And you're like, I'm going to buy everything this author has. And you go to Amazon and you put in their name and there's nothing. There's not a next book. There's not a bookmark. There's not a journal. There's not an image. There's nothing else you can buy from this author. Now open your eyes. If you don't have a call to action, if you don't share with them the natural next step they can take with you, the people who want to work with you end up feeling bereft. So it's really in your best interest to share what people can do if, in fact, they want to move down the customer journey with you.
Oh, I love that. That is pure gold right there. Write that down, unless you're driving, and then you pull over, then you write down. But yes, that is pure gold. Okay. So we are speaking to sell. Okay. Next.
So the second stage is a golden ring, like the brass ring that people always want, which is paid speaking gigs, right? Oh, I want to get paid to speak and share my knowledge with the world. And while this can be really, really powerful, it can also be trading time for money, right? You're getting paid for the hours that you stand on a stage and you get a flat fee. Now that fee can be really powerful and it can be really, delicious, and it can be a lot of fun, but I don't recommend that you just stop there, because a paid speaking gig really is, I have to go somewhere. I have to drive and get there. Maybe I have to pay for my own plane flight if it's a physical stage. And I have to get all dressed up and do all the things, right? To be sure that I get there. And then I'm only getting paid this maximum amount, no matter how much time or effort it costs me to get on that stage. Now, I'm not knocking it, because it's a lot of fun to get paid for your paid speaking gig, but I am suggesting that you figure out how to maximize it in other ways. For example, from a paid speaking gig, you might offer to have everybody in the room get a copy of your book. Now you've made book sales, right? You might offer to have everybody in the audience grab something else that's from you, or have a one-on-one call with you, or something where you can now move them down that customer journey as well. And then if really your business is paid speaking gigs, and you don't sell anything on the back end, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would strongly suggest that you get paid up front. That is, get paid before you set your high heel or your loafer on that stage. Why? Because if you don't, you've already imparted the knowledge and you don't have anything to hold back, right? You've already given all of the goods and they have it, and there's no way to hold anything over them. So you've just created a brand new entrepreneurship for yourself. Congratulations. You're now in collections.
Oh, which nobody wants to be in ever. Said nobody ever. Yeah, that's no fun. No, we don't want to be in the collections. Let's get that payment up front. Do we need to do a little mindset work on that? Because I got to tell you, asking to be paid up front before I do the job, that might stop me in my loafers. So have you ever had any issue with that? Or
at most event planners who are in integrity have a contract with you, and they tell you exactly how much they're going to pay. And you can ask for that payment to be at your venue when you arrive. Or, that's fine. I'll take it by Zelle or Venmo, or I'll wait here for a check before I get on stage. And if an event planner is in integrity, they should be able to deliver it before you impart your knowledge. If you're not doing speak to sell, if there's nothing in it for you, that is what's in it for you, then you do need to get paid up front. And there's nothing wrong with asking for that, because it is how the industry works.
Oh, I love it. I feel like I'm getting stronger by the minute. All right. So we have speak to sell. We have golden ring. Then we have.
So the golden ring is paid speaking gigs. And then we have authority stages. So authority stages, I usually poll the audience and say, can anybody think of an authority stage? And the answer that comes up most frequently answered is TEDx or TED stages, right? And that is a stage where if you get on it, you have gone through a process of screening. Somebody has approved you and verified that you're an expert in a particular area. And that is what an authority stage is. So it could be TEDx, absolutely, but it could also be if you're on Dr. Oz, or you're interviewed on the Oprah show, or if you're on CNN, you are an authority because somebody has done some research to find out if you're an expert in this area and then put you on their stage. And it doesn't have to be that big. It could be something local. For example, in San Diego, I was nominated to be on the Women Who Mean Business Awards. And I did get on that stage. I had to be nominated, and I got 19 letters of recommendation to be on that stage. And it does show authority. Now, the way to maximize that one, since you can't get paid, usually you're not paid for it, and you can't do a speak to sell usually on an authority stage, and certainly not on TEDx. You can't get paid and you can't do a speak to sell on TEDx. What you can do is maximize it socially. So you want to get the word out about it everywhere. You want to put it on your social media, your website. You want to put it on your tagline, in your signature, in your email. You want to put it out and make the announcements out everywhere that you are posting socially. You want it comment, shared, liked, subscribed if there's a subscription. And you do want to do a press release on it. Press releases are super powerful ways for the media to recognize what your accomplishment is. So a powerful press release can be really, really key when you do an authority stage.
My goodness. I love that so much. We teach our clients and our students that, become a celebrity. Become a celebrity in your business. And that doesn't mean you're in a Hollywood blockbuster. It doesn't mean you're an influencer. It doesn't mean you're on TikTok with 1 million people. We're just saying, as big or as small as you want to get, But getting on a stage like that, the authority stage, boy, does that give you street cred.
Absolutely. But you wouldn't believe how many people I know that have a TEDx and it's not even posted on their website or not in their email or not, nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
So you don't want it to be the best kept secret. You want it to get out there. So definitely get that street cred by getting it out there on the street.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you come about your TEDx? That's pretty cool. I mean, you got on that stage. What was that like?
It was very, very powerful. In fact, I'm really, really honored with that particular event because it was supposed to be right after COVID hit. We were supposed to speak in April, right after COVID launched. And so that was canceled, of course. But then not quite a year later, the January following, they did launch it and it was held in Las Vegas, but it was live streamed and it was the world's largest ever live streamed TEDx in the entire history of history. So I actually got to make history while we were doing it. Not only that, my topic was very hot and it's on confirmation bias, which means the more you believe something, the more you believe it and the less you're going to let other information in to prove you wrong. Yeah. So, and it's a very hot topic right now in politics and in the world because that confirmation bias, like I don't want to believe anything other than what I already believe, is very divisive for our world.
Yeah, dangerous.
It got picked up by the TED authorities. And so it's now officially a TED Talk as well. So
wow,
I'm very, very pleased to be able to be honored that way. Yes.
Congrats. Awesome. And how are you? It's everywhere, right? It's on your
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You're going to see it. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations. Wow. What a milestone. What a milestone. Okay. All right. We got Speak to Sell on stage. We got the Golden Ring, which is paid speaking gigs. We have authority stages. That's the TEDx, the TED stages, the local, influencer sort of authority stages.
Exactly.
And we have number 4.
Stage number 4 may surprise you. It's a rehearsal stage. So a rehearsal stage is super important in every single speaker's arsenal, if you will. Now, there's a lot of people suggest the Toastmaster stage, and that is powerful. But Toastmasters actually does not teach Speak to Sell, and you can't do Speak to Sell during Toastmasters. It's really designed for those people that are very nervous, perhaps at corporate, where they have to give a presentation to their boss, and they're not really sure, how the PowerPoints work or what to say, or they're maybe tongue-tied. All of those things are great to help those kinds of speakers. But when you're a professional speaker, you sort of need to step outside that and get on other rehearsal stages. So you want to get on a stage where you are performing in front of an audience of potential buyers. It can be a smaller stage at first, but then you want to kind of grow. Now, really, any stage can be a rehearsal stage. This stage can be a rehearsal stage, right?
Oh, cool.
This is an opportunity for me to give this talk. The first time I ever gave this talk was on a podcast. And after I gave it, I was like, ooh, I think I can tweak that a little bit more. I think I can add to it how to maximize each stage. I think I can, reorder it. Then I gave a talk about 3 months in where I gave the 4 types of stages and then the 4 ways to maximize them. And I went back through, but it kind of felt unwieldy. It felt like I was talking about 8 different stages. And so I blended it back again. So there's a lot of different ways that you can take a talk and get better at it. But the most important thing is that you get feedback from your rehearsal stage. Now, you can't get feedback from your pets or your bathroom mirror. So you actually have to get out in front of real live people in order to get feedback. And that could just be a podcast host, or it can be somebody that you plant in the audience to say, hey, I'm wondering, what I look like on this particular stage. If this color looks good on me, I want to know if I trip over my words. I want to know what you thought of my call to action, and just give them a few things to focus on. And then have them give you feedback afterwards. But even if you don't do that, feedback can come in the form of nonverbal. You're watching your audience, if you can see them on Zoom. You're watching them nod along, take notes, look seriously, laugh. You can notice if they're tuned out and they're starting to pull out their laptops and do something else, right? Unless that's what you want them to do. But you want to make sure to maximize that stage that you get feedback. So that's the secret to a rehearsal stage. Now, I've been on over 5,000 stages. And my best talk is my next one because I can always improve.
Dropping the mic with some knowledge right now. Wow, that's amazing. You dropped that 5,000 stages and I had a thought and it totally went out my head because 5,000 stages. The 5,000 stages? That's incredible. How many years did it take you to get to 5,000 stages?
Well, I'm 57, so 57 years.
Okay, that's fair enough. My question is, okay, so we have these 4 stages. What's our healthy diet? What's our cadence? How, are we trying to get on more Speaking to Sell? Are we trying to get on the golden rings? Like, what's the cadence that we should be doing maybe in a year?
Great question. So I recommend that everybody try all of them, right? It's not just that you want to, even if you are a paid speaker and you just want to do that, try your hand at speak to sell, try your hand at an authority stage, see if that really, like, if it's more floats your boat. I have a friend who got taught all about speak to sell, learned how to do that, and realized that for her particular business, paid speaking gigs were really the way to go, because she was more informing people of a way to do business rather than selling a program on how to do the business. So it was the wrong type of speaking for her. And she paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to learn speak to sell, when that really wasn't what she should have been leveraging it for that particular business. But once she learned how to do that, then she figured out how to do a speak to sell, and actually had some of her business transform into speak to sell from just the paid speaking gigs. So you can do all kinds of different things along the way, but always, always, always leverage your rehearsal stages, because it's never done. It's just finished, right? You can always improve your talk. So my mom is an artist, and she says a painting is never finished. It's just framed. Right. You can have that be your book is never finished. It's just published. You can have it be your talk is never finished. It's just delivered. Right.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, you're in progress, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we are, as human beings, evolutionary.
We are evolutionary, and to stop evolving, man, that's when you get old. We don't want to do that. Keep evolving. Okay. So you just said, you just blew my mind. First of all, you blew my mind that there's 4 different types of stages. So like, as an entrepreneur who's hungry to get on more stages and wants to work with professionals like you, Kim, that you can get us there a lot faster. How do we work with you? What's the best way?
Well, I have actually a program, but it's not a paid program. It's a free opportunity. It's a networking event called Speakers Playhouse. It's a show that we do every single week that brings stage hosts that are looking for guests onto the mic, and they share the name of the show, the types of guests they're looking for, and the way to contact them. And then after we get all the stage hosts on and they share that, we have 40 or 50 different stages that people announce. Then after that, we actually have all the speakers get on the mic and they share their name, their talk title, and the types of audiences they're looking for. So even if there's a stage host that's not there, it is an opportunity for people to network. And for example, when I'm on, if somebody would be great for this particular podcast, I would say, oh my gosh, your talk title is fantastic. You should meet Heather Holloway. And even if Heather Holloway is not there, I can refer them to your stage. So it's a great networking opportunity. Not only that, it's fun. It's gamified. We give away bonus points. The points don't matter, or they matter a whole lot, depending on how you look at it. And it's a really great time. So unlike any networking event you've ever been to, and you don't need a booking agent or anything, just come see if you can find some stages that are right for you, and just say yes when somebody hands you the mic.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And all you need to do to get on Speakers Playhouse is click the link in the description right now, and it'll take you right to the Speakers Playhouse where you can register and get online and get into that. And I need to get into that. First of all, I'm an ex-trivia host, so I love me some games.
Awesome.
I'm a little competitive, but I won't get that, riled up. But I need to get on that, because that sounds amazing. Because I have a stage that I can offer for people to come on and practice. It can be a rehearsal stage, and I love it.
It can be. It absolutely can be. There's actually a secret 5th stage. And the secret 5th stage is the one that you have right now, which is your own stage. When you have your own stage, it opens up a whole world of opportunities. You have the opportunity to be able to bring other guests in and highlight them. You have something to trade, right? I don't know if you know this, but if you give somebody else a stage for them to share their message with the world, you go straight to heaven. It's true. I looked it up.
Oh,
so
sweet.
there you have it.
Awesome. Podcasting is next to godliness, or something like that. Yeah. Or owning your own stage is next to godliness. Maybe we'll say that. Awesome. Kimberly, this has been fantastic. So we have 4 stages that we can speak on, plus a bonus stage, which is our own stage. You can get on the Speakers Playhouse. Just click the link right here in the description. Get connected to Kimberly. I'm sure you're everywhere. You have your websites. You have your social media accounts. Is there any other place that people can connect with you?
It's a great place to start at Speakers Playhouse. It's actually kind of like a TV show where once you get in there, you hear about all of our other stuff as well.
I love that so much. Kimberly, thank you so much. You've dropped so much value for us entrepreneurs who are looking to grow our business through the use of our voice. You gave us excellent expert knowledge, and I can't wait to join the Speakers Playhouse. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
My pleasure. Cheers.
I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Practical Talk. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and my team. Hey, remember, check the show notes for resources and links to other episodes. And don't forget, new episodes are released every Wednesday.